Welcome to the Metal Prognosis. My name is Lee, and on today's Pedal to the Metal video, we are going to be looking at a Joyo pedal. And this one, all the boxes look the same. This one is the Ultimate Drive. So it's hard to tell just by grabbing the box. Put that out of the way. Well packed. That's nice. And here it is, the Ultimate Drive. It looks pretty cool. It's just got a tone, which is not the best because I prefer to have a low, mids and highs. For anyone that watches all my other videos will know that. So really keen to hear how this sounds. Just like all my videos, I'll do put a camera to this and we'll dial in a sound together, and then we'll put it to a mix. So I'll do a play along with doubling up on the guitars and left-right speaker with some drums and bass, and then we can see how it holds up in a full band mix. And then we'll have a chat about it afterwards. So I'm going to start setting everything up, and it does look really cool. It's got really, really nice Asian style artwork on there, which is cool. But let's see if it sounds cool. So I'm going to set everything up and let's put this to the test. So Joyo Ultimate Drive. Let's see how it sounds. Now we have everything set up, ready to go. Let's give it, before we give it a test, this is what the guitar sounds like, clean. Pretty. That's not what we're here for. We're here for distortion. So let me put the gain all the way down. And let's just turn it on. All right, get the red light, that's good. We get near to no volume. Which is, you can make lots of mistakes and hide it, but that's not what we're here for. So let's give the a little bit more level. It's going to crank it. So there's a little very short moving space between when you get hardly anything to when you move it all the way. Suddenly you've got something that's workable. Now, straight off the bat, we're getting a little bit of dirt just straight from the pedal, even though we haven't put any of the gain up yet, which is good, which I like in a pedal. I like when you get the characteristics straight away from the pedal and not a weird blend or mix. So if I just quickly turn it off. So it's definitely a good difference, which is what you want in the pedal. So let's add some gain and see what we got. Not too bad. We haven't pushed it that far yet, which means we're going to push it further. So let's push it further. Push it further. max it. That to me sounds way too muffled. So it's, don't really use the term distorted, because it has kind of distorted. It's kind of sounds like it's dissolved the sound too much and it's broken up the clarity. So let's roll it back to where that sweet spot was. Which I find is better there. Now we have a high-low knob here, or switch. I have no idea what it is. I don't know if that's a high-low cut or a boost or whatever. So what better way to find out than just pushing it? I'm just mucking around now. I can't tell a difference in the sound. Oh, there's a little bit there. Yeah, so when we have it on a high level, I feel like that's got a little bit more clarity, not so much clarity. It does feel like it's got a little bit of a boost in the high register. So let's try the least most interesting feature of this, which is the tone knob, to see how much that actually changes. All right, let's go back the other way now. Interesting. I don't know what's better, to leave it cranked or higher. It definitely sounds better having more tone than just leaving it high noon, which is straight in the middle. Don't know. just leave it where it is. Otherwise, I could just sit here and think about it, overthink about it constantly for all afternoon. We don't want that because we want to move on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a jam. I'm not 100% sold on this yet, but all right, let me rephrase that. It's not that I'm not sold on the pedal, as in the settings. I don't know if this is going to be the best settings to have for a band situation. Because is it too... Is there enough bottom in there to get a bit of chug out of it or not? I'm just going to leave it. And we'll see what it sounds like when we double up, because when you double up on the guitar recording, it definitely emphasizes a lot of the distortion and lower end. So, yeah, we'll see if it's going to be enough leaving it at these settings. And if not, that's something we'll talk about in my final thoughts. So I'm going to take a little bit of a step away from the camera. I composed a little jam, record it, set it up in the little Brady Bunch little window setup for you all to enjoy watching me do every take, and then we'll have a chat about it afterwards. So in saying that, enjoy my little jam in about another 3 or 4 seconds. I'll see you on the other side. Time for my final thoughts on the Joyo Ultimate Drive. So let me just go through all the different knobs first. The gain was interesting because the gain, after it went past about high noon or 12 o'clock, it started to break up the sound too much. And I felt like it became too muffled and hard to get clarity out of the notes that you're hearing. Playing, sorry. The level was also interesting too. The fact that I had to push it to max to get a decent signal coming through, which is not normally the case with these pedals. Normally high noon is standard and anything above that is more, where this one I had to push it all the way before I got decent volume coming out of it. The high and low knob, not too bad. I have a funny feeling that would be really handy if you're running like an amp head. I tapped this one, but only because it is an amp head, but not using this as an example. If an amp head was a little bit dull, for lack of a better term, or felt a little bit muffled, because this could help really break through that type of amp characteristics that you don't want. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Or something that's too bright, where this switch can help cater that. So it's a cool little feature they put on there. Don't mind that. The tone knob wasn't too bad. It did its thing. But I definitely had to push it higher than normal, because normally I just leave it probably around about 12 or 1 o'clock, where this one I pushed it closer to 4 o'clock and not far off actually maxing it out. So that was a little bit different compared to how I've used other pedals before. But yeah, it wasn't a bad thing, but definitely something worth noting. And just to give you an example of what I mentioned in the intro. So here is the box that I have here. Here is another Joyo pedal I have here, and here's a different one, because I've got a few. So bit of a sneak peek because there's a couple more of these videos coming up, different pedals, but all the boxes are pretty similar. So that's why when I first opened it, I was thinking, which one am I actually looking at this time? Not a bad thing, not a thing worth noting. Just, I don't know, a bit of a laugh really. This is a cheap little giggle. Put that away now. So now the actual sound that I got out of it overall. It was a decent distortion. It sounded nice in the mix when I added, especially with the bass guitar. I felt like they married up pretty well, for lack of a better term, which was nice. It didn't quite have as much bite or aggression as what I like in my distortion, which is kind of what inspired me to compose what I did, rather than playing something a little bit more aggressive, because I felt like this didn't have that bite to it. Especially at the very last riff that I played in that song, where I felt this just hit the mark, which is not a bad thing. But with other pedals, I like them to overstep that mark. So when I do play something like that, it really brings it to life and really gives it that big push and that big aggression sound that I feel like that a riff like that deserves. So yeah, it didn't do bad, but it did just enough. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad pedal, not bad at all. Yeah, I'll be keen to see where you could actually take this pedal. Kind of trying to pimp it up a bit, so adding other pedals to the chain and seeing what it would be like if you had a full EQ spectrum to work out of, rather than just the tone knob and things like that, to see what you can do it, and putting it through probably the Kraken head or Dark Terror head, or a different type of live setup, I think is the best way to describe it, to see how it would measure up utilizing the amplifier's characteristics and blending them with these, rather than like we do in the Pedal to the Metals, where we just isolate this and make it do all the work. So the fact that we got the results that we did with it doing all the work, I think is really good. I think it's a real positive thing. But yeah, as I said, it would be nice to put it to the test to see how it feels like marrying up with something else, to see if it shines more or not. I don't know. Something we can find out soon. That's if you're interested, of course. So in saying that, though, what are your thoughts? How did you feel as I was dialing in the tone? Did you think I got a decent tone out of this to start with? Or do you think that I maybe found something really good and moved on too quickly, or was nearly there and didn't quite get it and should have invested more time in mucking around with this? How did you feel when I was in the actual band mix with doubling up on the guitars and having drums and bass there? Do you think it held up nicely in a band mix, or maybe not so quite? Which is no problem. Nothing against it. It might not just be your taste. Or you might have something very much against it. I don't know. But I'm keen to find out either way. So in saying that then, I think I've babbled on enough now. So time for my usual sign-off. And if anyone's seen any of my other videos, I do the same sign-off, mainly because just so I don't forget to say anything. So whether this video is in the foreground or the background, I absolutely appreciate your company and love the fact that you're a part of these conversations. If you have any thoughts on these, please leave a comment below. If you know anyone that might be interested in these type of videos, please let them know that I exist and push them towards my channel so they can be a part of this conversation too. I also have a Facebook page as well. So if you'd like to chat to me through there about other stuff, not limited to the Ultimate Drive, but anything heavy metal distortion wise, or just heavy metal in general, really, whether it come to gear, equipment, recording, or just listening. Yeah, definitely drop us a line there and we can chat about it for sure. And if you get any other ideas for videos, what you want me to do with the Ultimate Drive or any other pedals or equipment that I've got around in the studio, yeah, please let me know, because I love hearing all your suggestions. So, until next time, please stay safe.